Check this out. It's finally done. I made y'all a video every step of the way. Check it out. No more lines in the screen, half the energy consumption. So now my bill ain't gonna be as high as Joy Taylor body count. Let's say one of them TVs goes bad, it's a hassle to change it. With these, you just pull out the LED panel. It's gonna be 16 magnets on the back, and then you just pop it back in there. If you notice, these pixels are closer than two cousins from Kentucky. That's what goes into your quality and the price of the screen. You can save half the cost by going with a higher pixel pitch. Here's an example right here. Now let's get started with the install. Remember, this is my first time, so I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but damn, it's a whole lot of screws. Let's open everything up first. I figured out there's 3 different types of pieces, so we're gonna stack those together, and then I'm gonna bring a couple of these cabinets in. Here's what the cabinets look like up close. These were the instructions that they gave me, and they're terrible. Don't mind my feet in the air. I had no idea how many rows or any of that. So I was like, let me start putting these cabinets on top of the rail part just so I can see where the screws go and how everything lines up. After putting a couple panels on there, I was like, oh yeah, we got action. There's 4 screws that attach that left part to the right part. I found out that there's gonna be 6 cabinets at the bottom. So we're gonna put all these together. Now the front and the last rail are different. That's why you saw me swap out that piece for the end piece. Now this was the moment I found out that little square piece goes between the row of cabinets. This one part of the mount right here was backwards. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna swap everything around, and then we all good. Cause I thought I was missing a piece. Now that I got the configuration, I can put all these screws in. It's like 1,000,000 of them, and then we'll be done with this first row. Now that I know what I'm doing, we cooking with grease. I can go ahead and knock out this second row and then the third row. Now it's time to add another 1,000,000 screws. And the only reason why I knew what screws to use is because they was already in that upper part right here. Right now, y'all seeing everything from day one. I just wanted to put like the rail system together, so y'all will see me put all these screws in, attach the second part to the first part, and then the third part to the second part. And this is our final product. So we'll be back for day 2. Day 2, the main objective is to take all these screens off the wall. Now, this is a $20,000 system with everything included. Now, if y'all need something like this, I had this for like 9 months. So if y'all want to buy something like this, I'm doing it for half off. But you have to come pick it up, okay? Because I ain't transporting. I don't feel like doing all that. Finally got all the TVs off the wall. Now we can go through and get these cables undone. Now, the first step for this new part is I got 1 Cat 6 wire that I'm going to tie to these. And then basically we're going to pull that up into the attic. But first, I got to get all these other HDMIs out the wall. Cat 6s ran. Now I can take all these rails off the wall. And then we're going to take a tape measure and mark tape at the top and the bottom where this is going to go. I thought I was going to be doing this by myself, and I had a plan. Check it out. I'm going to put 4 of them lag bolts here at 6. That's what's going to hold it up there. This is when I mark 6 inches from the top. Then I'm gonna set the middle of this laser right through that center speaker. And then I'm gonna set the horizontal line at 6. Like I said, I was planning on doing this by myself. So that was my idea, was to put these 4 lags up there. And then we can sit the frame on top of that. And then we can drill it in. On this frame, we got 7 columns. So what I'm gonna do is make sure that center column matches up with that center speaker and the center of that laser. Hey, it looked like my plan working. I told y'all that GED ain't no joke. All right, so we're gonna make sure each part of this is level, and then we're gonna start putting the screws in there. I was putting the screws in there, and then I realized, like, uh-oh, fuck, that bar is in the way of the outlet. So I'm thinking like, damn, I already done put a couple screws in here. I gotta take all this out. But no, we just take this one section out. Here's the plan.
I'm so confused.
I'm finna move this plug to right here, and the wire come through there.
Now, I call that the OTJT right there. That's that on-the-job training. I wonder what the next step is.
Just Ethernet wire go down to right there, and then we just gonna daisy chain throughout.
Yeah, the whole 1 Cat 6 idea ended up being terrible, but y'all will see that later in the video. All right, so it's 1,000,000 screws that we gonna end up sitting here and putting in this wall. It took like 30 minutes just to do the screwing. To do the what? Oh, excuse my language on this next part.
Bro, this motherfucker ain't going nowhere, boss.
These are the power cords right here.
Cat 6 here. It's gonna go up, and then daisy chain to all of them, and then power is gonna hit all the top ones too.
These are all the screws right here to secure the cabinets to the wall. There's 36 of them, 4 screws on each one. This gonna sound crazy, but I didn't know which hole to use, so we just gonna move down to that bottom rail and do that one. Listen, the boy is childish.
But I was trying to see which holes it uses.
The cool part about these cabinets, they actually kind of lock in without the screws. But once I figure that part out, we can go back up there and start putting those in. Like I said, I've never done this, and there's like really no instructions on this part, but check out the GED.
Yeah, we don't tighten the cabinets all the way. We put these on, tighten these, and then we tighten all the cabinets. Take a quick break, we'll be right back.
While I'm on break, Brother Derek is putting these cabinets on the wall. So each cabinet has 4 screws. So like this whole setup ended up being like 500 screws total. I'm gonna be honest, I did have a couple of self-doubts. I was like, all right, what if one of these cabinets aren't even? But you'll see in a second that I'm gonna put the little squares in between the cabinets, and that's what's gonna make those even. I'm putting a couple power cords at the top, and then I'm gonna put that one piece back where that outlet was in the way. If y'all remember the diagram from earlier, one power cord connects to the top on each row, and then they daisy chain all the way down to the bottom. Honestly, I can't wait to do another one of these. The mistake that we made is that one empty row right there. I couldn't put those cabinets in because the rest of them were too tight. So we had to go back through and loosen a lot of those and then redo them. Not to throw the boy under the bus, but we had to really go back through and loosen each cabinet because these squares weren't fitting. So my plan was to barely do the cabinets, make sure these squares fit first, tighten the squares first, and then go back through and finish tightening up all the cabinets. This is the Cat 6 right here that's gonna daisy chain to all the rest of them. And these was the celebratory coats we were supposed to have, but that ain't gonna happen. He starts to put the panels on there. Now the ones on the left side are working just fine, but as you go to the right, the colors kind of change a little bit, and then the ones to the very right weren't working at all. I ended up going upstairs to mess with the processor to see if I could kind of figure out some of the settings in there. Yeah, that didn't work either. So we just gonna come back for day 3. That's because I'm finna knock all this over. Day 3, there's 10 ports on the back of this Nova Star, and I was only using one Cat 6 daisy chain to all of them. Now we're gonna use one port for 4 cabinets. So every 4, we're gonna add a new Cat 6 wire. All right, now stay with me. Before we was using just one port on the Nova Star, now we're using 9 of the ports with one of them open. So my thing is now it should be enough to send pixels to each cabinet. Now that we've added all the extra Cat 6 cables, you'll see everything came on and the colors were the same throughout the whole wall. But I still couldn't get it to one screen, and you'll see where it has all these numbers. That's the mapping, so it knows that each of those cabinets are there, but I still couldn't figure it out. After trying for like an hour, I was like, yeah, forget this. Now I did see somebody hook their computer up to it, so I tried to hook it up to the MacBook. Didn't work. Went and bought a regular computer from Walmart. Before I do that, I'm gonna run all these cables to the closet upstairs in the attic, and then I'm gonna show y'all how this software works. To let y'all know, there's a driver on the Nova Star website that you have to download or the system will not read the processor. So we go to screen configurations, and then we're gonna figure out the mapping. So I'm basically tracing the way I ran these Ethernet cables. That way the software knows exactly what I did. Once you figure out the mapping scenario, I got it saved as Final Boss. All you do from there is you send it to the hardware and you good to go.
Hey, I know what we doing first.
I've been waiting for this for months and it's finally done. The only downfall, I can put my cameras on this too. The only downfall is if I'm watching this at night, it is so bright that it's like, all right, chill out. But the detail in the faces, the colors, everything about this is like, why didn't I do this a year ago? Now, y'all know how we do. We got some bloopers coming up.
It's time to show us that hammer.
Hey, yo.
Maybe like 80% of it been like Johnny finish. One thing you quick start pulling like, damn, I ain't seen that one. Shoot, probably like, I'm gonna say maybe 12 feet, about two times my height. Got the thick old ones. You need to wash on that too. Need to wash on that too. The first hole. Relax.
So I think we are. I just need to take that one out.
Pick it up a little bit and slide it. The cabinets.
What was the cabinet?
I don't mind put it in for yourself, but I just the opening, the whole opening for the bracket. Like, it literally fits right there perfectly. I got plenty ready. Relax. The more I screws I put in, the tighter it got on the bracket.
The more I screwed in, the tighter it get too.
You help stand it up.
Hey, yo.
How's it fitting? So how's it fitting? Okay.
Hey, yo.
Nobody slid it up and on top from the bottom.
Hey, yo.